Welcome to Back Porch Live. I am your host, Kimmy Jimmel. And on today's show, we have two very special guests with us. We have Admiral Duke E and the Maclaniac, as you may know them from the hit web series Admiral Duke E versus the Maclaniac, the writers, directors, producers, and stars in the film. And we have them with us today. And we're going to take a seat with them, and we're going to try and unpack what this show really means. Just what's the plot? You know, what's going on? Nobody knows. No one understands. So we're going to have them walk us through it. And I'm very excited to welcome to the show, we've got Alex Hofer and Micah McLean. Now let's take a seat and see what they got cooking in the studio. Hey, thank you for the show. So I just want to jump right into the first question. What was it like working with such a big budget action film such as this? You know, how much did you have to pay? Because I'm sure you had a humongous crew and a lot of cast members working on set day and night. It looks like it took a lot of time and a lot of hard work and effort.
Yes, Kimmy, it was an absolutely massive production. There were tons of actors to work with. There was Mikey McFoodboy, Candyman, Young Frat, the original Maclaniac. We have Admiral Duke, we have Captain Reviewman, Sergeant Ted, and the Batmiral. And dealing with all of them with such a tight time schedule, you know, with filming around educational institutions and such things.
Yeah.
It was very, very tight.
And it was especially challenging for us to find people that looked exactly like us in order to be able to film these shots and make it convincing enough that these were actually clones. So we searched basically the entire globe. We had a lot of different actors that are very foreign, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce their names.
Oh my
gosh! It'd just be way too complicated. Please, guys, we have donuts here.
Oh yes, donuts.
Like a donut. Oh
yes.
This is dope.
Very good.
Wow. My God. Big fan.
I've always been a big fan of donuts.
Interesting. We get Mikey McFoodboy to do a review on these.
Hey, where's Mikey? Do we have the actor?
No, they couldn't make it. They had to go back to their home
countries.
God. Because, you know, they're under a communist government. They're only allowed to be out of the country for about a month. Basically smuggled them across the country.
I didn't even know that. You didn't tell me that.
I was informed by our executive.
How much of our budget went into smuggling them across borders?
You can ask our budget manager. I'm not informed.
This is ridiculous.
Until he told me that.
I did not expect that.
Wow. Fantastic.
This isn't funny. Kimmy.
This is a good donut.
It was a good donut.
Yeah, it was
All right, next question, Kimmy.
So this is leading into my next question, and I just kind of wanted you guys to take a little bit, just take the rest of the show. You guys can just take the rest of the show and just basically explain, what's going on. Just look at the camera and just talk about it for a while, and I'm gonna sit back and just take it all in for myself because I have no idea what's happening, but I'm excited to find out.
So, there have been some changes to the narrative along the way, but the basic premise is still the same. Hundreds of years ago, there were these two warring clans, the Dukes and the Candymen. Candymen are from this place called the Peed-Off Isles, and no one really even remembers how the war started. It was just extremely bloody, and it stretched on for super, super long time. So eventually, it just became a war where these two sides were trying to extinguish the other side. And then, one day, the last remaining Dukes, they mustered and they gathered to launch this massive attack on the Candymen, and they were intending to slaughter all that remained, and they almost succeeded, except one of them got away, one Candyman.
Hey dude, I'm the Candyman! Ah!
And he separated himself into 4 distinct creatures, 3 of them being the Mikey McFoodboy, Young Frat, and Maclaniac that we know. So, Candyman took those 3 and he cast them away to planet Earth, where all of them lived in silence for decades. However, now, the last Admiral of the Dukes followed the clones to Earth, and here he splintered himself into 3 beings, or 4, including himself, like Candyman. So we have the original Admiral Duke, and we have the Admiral, Sergeant Ted, and Captain Reeve Human, and here on planet Earth, he's gonna try to finish that war.
And so that leads into the prologue, which was the first real, kind of introduction to this war that was happening. And so we see in that video, it opens with one of the clones of Candyman, the Maclaniac, who is one of the only clones that is not really conscious that he is in fact a clone, and he's not aware. So we see him walking, and he finds this poster that says Maclaniac wanted, and it lists all the clones on there. So Maclaniac takes that poster and he runs into his house to meet with Mikey McFoodboy, who is the only other clone that he really has a firm relationship with throughout the videos. They're aware of each other, but Maclaniac is still not aware that he is in fact one of many. He has encountered them in the past, but he is not aware. So he walks in, he meets with Mikey McFoodboy, and this is the part where Mikey kind of tells Maclaniac that he's part of something much larger than what he was led on to believe. Is there something you haven't been telling me?
There's something I haven't been telling you, Mike.
So in that moment, as Mikey explains, we see one of Admiral's clones, Captain Reeve Human, kind of trying to infiltrate Maclaniac's domain and trying to capture one of the clones at least to bring back to Admiral Duke E. Stane. So we see Mike Maclaniac running around the house trying to get away because he doesn't understand. He's very confused, he's a very confused character. But this video, little did people understand, was actually taking place during the same time that one of Admiral Duke E. Stane's videos took place, which was the repellent video, with starring Reeve Human. So Reeve Human was reviewing solar repellent in a separate room as this other video was occurring. So you can see in the background in some shots of his video where things that happened in the prologue were actually happening in the background of his videos, and we basically just reenacted those scenes to make it seem like it all made one cohesive huge video that was happening at the same time.
So this all leads into chapter 1, which probably none of you noticed, but it has been deleted. Why has it been deleted? Because it
real bad.
was bad. Yeah, that's about it. It was just real bad, and I didn't want it on my channel anymore, so I just got rid of it real quick. And so in place of that, we're just going to explain to you what happened. And we have made some minor changes in some places. So, at the end of the prologue, Captain Reeve Human ends up knocking out Mikey McFoodboy with the can of repellent.
Wait!
So from there, he attempts to bring Mikey back to the Admiral Duke's base. But on the way there, he's intercepted by a space mercenary man hired by the Candyman. This space mercenary man, played by a mutual friend of ours, he takes Mikey and returns him to, and this is where we get into chapter 2, he returns him to the Candyman. However, little does he know is that during the fight, Admiral planted a tracking device on the bottom of Mikey's shoe. So the Admiral is able to follow them back to the Candyman's hideout, which is also happens to be in the backyard of the Maclaniac. And so a fight ensues. It's very well done. It was super fun to film. It was great working with the Admiral actor during it. We got some great performances out of Gamble Cleary also. Chapter 2 was all around a dandy old time. And so the Admiral narrowly escapes after being shot by the Candyman in the torso. So he'll have that to deal with in chapter 3. He's kind of injured and slowed down, and young Frat will this time have some time to prepare for the fight. So it will not go down the same way it did in chapter 2. We also left off with this gathered shot of 3 out of 4 of the clones. We have Candyman, Young Frat, and Mikey all in one ensemble shot, and in the post-credit scene we kind of see the Maclaniac clone reacting to it. You can see he's very scared, like Micah said, he's a very scared, timid character, so he's hiding from them, and that's where we're going to pick up in chapter 3. So
Fantastic.
there it is.
Right. I can't believe that thing happened that you just described to me. Yeah. Insane.
So
Wow. Oh man, this is our first talk show, so it's like super new to us, but we're having a good old time. And thank you, Kimmy, for having us.
Thank
on
you,
your show.
Kimmy. Thank you. Thank you.
Glad we got to clear
It's
some
been
stuff
great
up.
working with you.
Yeah.
All right, good night,
And,
Kimmy. Good night.
Good night.
We'll
Thank
catch
you.
you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
All right.